Welcome, volleyball fans. It is Friday morning here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and we are ready to get after it. Another great weekend full of volleyball. I'm Nick England, joined by Matt Prosser. Matt, how you feeling about this weekend?
Nick, couldn't be more excited to be here, man. This is a new event for us, a new venue. Teams have been adjusted. We're going to have a great Memorial Day weekend event right now. We've got 3 days of some super high-level volleyball, 5 matches a day, everyone fighting towards that NBA Cup, so it's going to be exciting stuff, man.
Absolutely can't wait. You know, this is going to be a great match to start us off. If you watched last event, we saw the Chicago Untouchables and the Dallas Tornadoes both have a tough, opening weekend going 0-3. But right now, if you check out these rosters, these guys have brought in a ton of new guns. There's a lot of firepower, a lot of upgrades on these rosters. They knew if they were going to compete in the NBA, they needed to make adjustments, and adjustments were made.
Yeah, very exciting to see these new add-ons to specifically the Tornadoes there. Both teams after that first weekend a few weeks back in Southern California, they went home, they watched some video, they made some adjustments, brought some new guys on board, and it's going to be a much different looking team this weekend going forward.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of the mainstays, a couple of those big pins that we saw from the Tornadoes. So that's going to be Steve Roshitz. We're also going to see Sekiel Sanchez returning. But then on the side of the Chicago Untouchables, we're actually going to see the return of many of those old the Tennessee Tyrants before they were the Texas Tyrants back in Utah. And so a lot of those players are going to be making their return that we didn't see last event. Names like Ian Kapp, Jake Milnazik, Ryan Alu is going to be returning to the court, Eddie Kiesecker. We've got a lot of names. Dan Nugent's going to be returning, one of the first brother duos in the league with Dan Nugent here on the Untouchables. Chris Nugent's his brother on Team Freedom, so that'll be cool to see that unfold as well.
Yeah, very much excited to see the new faces on both squads here. The Untouchables, it looks like their team size has kind of doubled in terms of personnel versus our last event back in LA last month. And then, for the Tornadoes to see some new guys there as well. It's going to be a very exciting way to start this event.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a unique piece to keep an eye on here, we've got the 7-footer Paul Bolanzik out on the court once again. He was doing a bunch of damage during event 1, and he is absolutely a monster. So definitely someone to keep an eye on there.
Yeah, he made his presence felt early and often. Last event, obviously the tallest player in the NBA. He's comes in at 7 feet, right? And he really did make an impact both offensively and defensively as well with his block and defense, making the opposing team's middles and hitters find those different angles because he's such a large blocker that it really gives that team an advantage on where they're supposed to be in terms of block and defense.
Yeah, and one of the things that Chicago Untouchables were really relying on the last time they were out there is we were seeing Ragland on the outside and joined by Ramos. Those two were kind of their power duo. But, with Milnazik returning to the court this time, they're going to go ahead and opt to have him as their other starting outside alongside Ramos. We're going to see Ryan Alu now returning. Ryan Alu returning from, he had a back injury, so this is going to be the first time we see him in that blue jersey. So excited to see that for sure as well.
Yeah, Alu and Cap are definitely two guys that are going to make a big impact to this team that we didn't see at the last event. And look for them to carry a big load, obviously, offensively, but with their passing and, just sort of their overall court presence, it's going to be good to see.
Yeah, and if you guys check it out on the left side of the screen, you can see the schedule that we have set up for all day long, as well as all the ways to follow the NBA. Make sure you're not missing out on any of the action this weekend. We said we've got 3 full days. We're going to have 15 matches this weekend, so there's plenty of chances to find your favorite team, find a way to support them, and get involved with the action. USA Volleyball is here to stay, and this is a great way to get involved. We're letting these teams get set up right now. And Ian Kapp is going to be the first server, number 4, for the Chicago Untouchables. And if you have watched Ian Kapp serve before, it is an absolute treat. He absolutely dominates from that back line. He's a well-versed grass player, loves playing on a variety of surfaces, and on the court, he absolutely hammers serves. So check it out. We're underway. Big serve from Kapp. It's going to be set from Roshitz to the outside, and Sanchez chips it down the line. Bump set outside from Alu. And Milnazik goes for a chop, and that one's going to be shut down by a nice double block there from the Tornadoes.
Early action, it's always tricky to kind of get the engine going. First match of the morning, first match of the weekend. It's, 9 a.m. local time. Guys are traveling. We're seeing 2 back-to-back hitting errors there by the Untouchables, but a well-formed 3-man block by the Tornadoes there. So the Tornadoes, you can see early really emphasizing their block and defense as they've forced 2 hitting errors by the Untouchables.
And now there's the overpass, so Tornadoes putting a lot of pressure on early. Big swing down the line and finds the chest of Alu. If you weren't awake yet, you are now.
Wow,
Welcome back to the NVA, Ryan.
Yeah, nice swing by Felix there down the line. Not a huge approach, but able to get his good whip on that one for the kill.
Cap tosses that outside, and there's that lefty swing. That one's going to be pancaked and kept alive. Ramos sets it up. Cap goes backside, chopped alive by Milnazik. Sanchez has to free ball it over. Goes to the backside on Ramos, tries to swing at that big attack, sends it long, and that ball's going to go out with no touch. Tornadoes on a great 4-0 run, setting tempo early here, really dictating the way this game is going to be played.
Yeah, Tornadoes coming out of the gate, really fast. Beneficiaries of those early hitting errors, but there you see the Untouchables finally getting on the board with a nice quick attack out of the middle by number 18.
Yep, and we're seeing a lot of good offense being set up here by number 33, Jordan Canary, making his NVA debut as well in purple. So we'll have to see what kind of offense he can get set up early for these guys. Milnazik now with a little bit of a knuckling jump serve. Felix goes back to that chop down the line. Dug by Roshitz. Back set, and Sakiel uses high hands, kept alive. And it's going to be a free ball over from Alu. And that one's going to be swung once again, reset here for Chicago Untouchables. Quick set to the backside, and that's going to find the hand and roll off. Point for Chicago Untouchables.
Nice extended rally there. Felix is saying it didn't go off his arms and into the antenna, but it clearly, went off that left arm, ricocheted out of bounds into the antenna, so give the point to the Untouchables.
Milnazik with a big jump. Good pass by Sanchez to the 10-foot line there, and that one's going to go straight down. Now, a big thing that I talk about when I say, good pass, sometimes what I'm qualifying here is there's a lot of, you're looking at the quality of server. You're looking at the expectation from the pass, and most of these setters should be able to run their offense from the 10-foot line. So as a passer, your goal isn't necessarily to be perfectly on the net, but you want to get it high, middle of the court, let your setter get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Nick. Obviously, depending on the server, we need to be inside the 10-foot line, maybe 2 to 3 feet off the net, just slightly right of center is kind of, the perfect pass. Anything inside the 10-foot line, we should be able to feed the quick hitter. You got to throw it in from off the net to keep the opposing block and defense honest. But, you see the tempos being created and the connections there from both sides so far.
And that was one of the first kills we've seen from Cologne out of the middle. Perfect pass, goes to the outside, quick tempo. Ramos goes hard angle and goes with that nice 4-4 swing and catches middle blocker number 43, Jesse Cologne, off the net there.
Yeah, great swing by Ramos there. Hard cross-court angle for the winner. Only saw that he had one blocker in front of him, so he took full advantage of that opportunity.
Tom Burrell with a float serve. Back set again, and there's that high swing. Wow, we are seeing a ton of offense from Felix Chapman, and he is really holding it down in a way that they desperately needed from the team.
Yeah, absolutely. His presence is being felt offensively, defensively. He's about 6'8", playing opposite for the Tornadoes, and definitely making a big impact so far.
Tight pass. Use all that height of the 7-footer, number 16, Bolonzik right there, gets up and goes over the top. Big kill there for the Chicago Untouchables. They were down 4-0 to start this, but they have dialed it back in. They woke up. It just took one good shot to the chest of Ryan Alu there, and they were right back in it.
Yeah. It wasn't going to take them long to get back into this game.
And that's going to be Schwady with a serve long there. Schwady, another new addition on the side of the Chicago Untouchables, 6'5", opposite, out of Gurnee, Illinois, played at Purdue. 2014 graduate from there.
I like this offensive rotation for the Untouchables. They got front row setter, 7-foot middle, and then Ramos on the left. It'll be interesting to see what kind of offense they can run here.
Once again, go back to Bolonzik. And there's Roshitz with a big swing. It's good touch, high in the middle of the court. faked swing, but Chike Opurum is not faked out. D-ball run. Nice dig there by Sanchez. Free ball over by Opurum, gives some time. Alu takes first ball. Bolonzik once again. Dug for the Tornadoes, and Chapman goes up and swings, but that one is going to go just long.
Bolonzik, got a couple of attempts there, just sort of paintbrush those balls a little bit too much and was able to get that dig, but Felix just hitting that ball out of bounds wide for a point to the Untouchables. Ramos gives it right back to him, though, with that missed serve.
Something we saw a little bit was some shoulder tightness affecting Steve Rochett's last tournament, and so he was actually showcasing his ability to be an ambidextrous hitter. So right now he's feeling good, putting some power off that right. And there's a great usage of that double block there by number 9, Milnazik. Gets that inside swing. Little thumb down drop and uses those high hands.
Yeah, that's one of those good hitting angles, as a not the biggest outside hitter. You got to be able to create that range, be able to hit all the areas around the court, and Milonzik can definitely do that as we come to our first technical timeout.
Well, I have to say, it's very easy to look at the stat card, both of these 0-3 teams, and to feel like, oh man, maybe this isn't the way that we want to start this event. Are these guys going to deliver? And I've got to say, the firepower, the upgrades across the courts, these teams are, everyone that got to play them last weekend and got their win early, they were lucky because you are not playing the same teams.
Agreed. Yeah, you can definitely see that there's been, the new personnel for sure coming on board. It's been 5-6 weeks since our last event, so you see that the guys have been in the gym, training hard, creating that new kind of, partnerships and new team chemistries and all those things and the connections, and these are two very different teams than we saw in the last event. So anyone playing these guys this weekend better be scouting them right now, and because they're much different than they were in their last event.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk to owner Andres Quinones from the Dallas Tornadoes, and I said, what was the approach coming into this event? What were you feeling, and what was kind of your takeaway after the first event? And he said, hey, we're here to put a competitive team, and after an 0-3 weekend, it became very apparent that we weren't where we needed to be, but I'm not okay with that. And it's very clear that he took that to heart, brought a team full of new arms, new looks, and it's great. You see number 14, Hernandez, the libero right now, is one of their better passing outsides. They've now moved him into that libero spot. So we're seeing just a lot of overall dynamic approaches of how to make this team successful.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about the characteristics of this season, right? It's not just a one-weekend tournament or one-weekend event, right? This isn't a culmination. This is a season-long series of events where the rosters can get changed a little bit. They do need to be locked in order to qualify for the end-of-the-season tournament. But really great and exciting to see these adjustments that all the teams have made from the last event in order to work towards that goal of becoming NBA champion.
Absolutely, and I do want to say a huge thank you to Mikasa. You're going to see those balls getting used all weekend long. They're the proud ball sponsor of the NVA. Also want to say thank you to JBJ Events for partnering with us, helping us put this on out here on the East Coast and bringing the NVA coast to coast. We're right back into the action. There's a huge one-on-one block from Cap. Reset, set over. Quick set to the outside. Milnazik tries to find that one, but that set is just going to be too tall. A little bit too high there. Not quite able to find that. Great recovery there. Sanchez swings into the block of Cap, covers himself, keeps that rally alive.
Yeah, unfortunately, Milnazik just, 2 errors early on in this match so far, and, he's trying to find his rhythm with his arm swings a little bit, maybe just trying to get used to the environment here too.
Opurum goes short. Tight ball tries to be jousted, but it's kept alive, picked up off the ground, and that swing is going to go just wide from Milnazik. Great move there from
huge cover there by the Untouchables, but again, Milnazik just with a back-to-back hitting errors and kind of compounding those errors, and all of a sudden they find themselves down by 2 points again. Yeah,
Schwady with a good pickup there to keep it alive, but Opurum's going to serve another float once again. Keeps it on Milnazik. Big attempt from Ramos, dug by Chapman. Sanchez takes a big swing once again. Ryan Alu showcasing that the chest of Ryan Alu is something to be feared.
Yeah, it's about his second or third ball already this morning that he's dug off the chest. But, definitely one thing that the Untouchables missed was their libero play from the last event, and Alu making his presence felt, really managing and running the business in the back row there.
Absolutely, and run the business he does like an empire. If you remember back to Utah, he is hands down one of the top 2 or 3 liberos in this league. So getting him back on the court alone, he's one of those guys. It's rare to acknowledge a libero as such an important presence, really, since they don't provide that offensive power. But he's a guy that changes the look of a team by himself.
Oh, absolutely, and he offers a huge amount of consistency as well with his passing and defense.
Milnazic looks for a little cheeky set into the deep corner, but Roshitz is there to track that one all the way out of bounds. Yeah,
it was a good idea. Unfortunately, execution not terrifically done by Milnazic on that one.
Wow, drops it real short pass there by Burrell. Backside to Milnazic once again. He's got a lot of hitting errors so far. This is his first time. I don't know if he's hit off of cap recently, but we'll have to see if he's able to shore some of those swings up.
Yeah, very interesting to see what's going on here. That's about his 5th hitting error, and Untouchables get off the hook there with a missed serve. But, they're going to need Milnazic to really, find the court offensively. He's going to be, relied upon for a lot of offensive workloads here.
Yeah, what a tongue twist. We got Milnazic and Milnazic. God. Yeah. Milnazic here with the jump. Finds that one down the line, just as we ask him to make those adjustments, he does, and he finds an ace down the line into the platform attempt there from Steve Roshitz.
That's one way to get it going. If you can't do it from the net, do it from the inline and score that quick ace and give yourself another chance.
Untouchables still down by 3, though, so they've got some pressure on them to close this up here if they can. Another great serve there. That's going to hit the ceiling but kept alive, and that swing is going to go out. But I love the look from the 6'8" Felix Chapman attempt there. Comes cross court.
Good aggressive swing by him. You can't be upset about that hitting error when you come in that hard and expect to take a good swing at it. Little lucky ricochet off the ceiling, but just out of bounds wide.
Another great serve. Roshitz puts the Tornadoes in system, and that one is not going to miss. Chapman with a little stare down through the net finds that little 4-4 swing for himself. A little hard angle and great point there. Way to end that service run for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, Chapman says never twice, you guys, and gets a nice cross-court kill. I think he's lucky he's not hitting against Milnazic, the 7-footer, but I would like to see that matchup at some point.
Alou passes the 10. Big swing into the angle, and that's a great close block there from Cologne in the middle. Gets all the way outside to Roshitz there, and they're going to shut Kyle down on the opposite. That's going to be a timeout called.
You can see that the Tornadoes have definitely spent a lot of time working on their blocking defense, and they're getting the benefits from that hard work in the gym, getting a 3-point lead. But they've gotten a few nice blocks. They've made some hitting. They've forced some hitting errors from the Untouchables, and you can see that because of their well-formed blocking so far early on in this game.
Yeah, and one of those things that we're going to continue. Serving is such a big part of the men's volleyball. Whether it's the pressure not to make service errors or the importance of putting pressure on. And Chicago Untouchables, getting Milnazic, Cap, getting guys like that back in the lineup is really going to add that firepower back. We've got to keep an eye on how much damage those two are able to do. So definitely something we're looking forward to. And this is actually a technical timeout, and if I'm not mistaken, and one of the things that we're experimenting here with is instead of doing 2 technical timeouts at 8 and 16 as we had done previously to keep the game moving along, we're trying it out at 15, just 1 per game, and that way that we're not slowing it down with 2 every single set, and in addition to the two timeouts that coaches have. So it's going to be something that the NBA is trying out to just keep the games moving along and make sure the viewership experience at home is a great one.
Absolutely, yeah. A little innovation. It'll keep the game flow going faster. It's always helpful for the at-home viewers for sure.
All right, right now you've got a 3-point a 3-point difference in score. Chicago Untouchables. What adjustments are you looking to see from that side?
Well, those 3 points, it really have come from hitting errors. Their hitting percentage is not where it needs to be early on in this match. We're playing a 3 out of 5, so they're going to have time, and they're only down by 3, so it's a little bit more of a, kind of just like we said earlier, get the engine going, get that oil warmed up, find their ranges and things, and I expect them to come back, but they've just kind of compounded their errors a few too many so far.
Yep. But hey, there's a great usage of their technical timeout, and no coach to thank this time, but they're going to thank the technical all the same, and that's going to be Shaquille Sanchez serving that one just wide. Middle blocker Tom Burrell now likes his float serve down the line. This time, float serve into the net. It's a tough break, but Chicago Untouchables will have to find a way to recover all the same. And now we're going to see number 43, Jesse Colon, for the side of the Tornadoes. High ball from Alou to the middle of the court. Tipped over the top by Shady. And goes back, and there's that same big block. And if you're following the NVA on Instagram, we had a huge highlight reel of number 13, Chike Opurum, this past week, showcasing his ability to get 3 blocks in a timely manner. And he is making up that, he's not missing a step, getting right back into that rhythm.
Yeah, another well-formed block by the Tornadoes.
Kisses the net, and that's going to be a tight pass from Alou. Reset by Opurum. It's going to have to be a high ball to the outside for Roshitz. Dug by Alou. Ramos goes to that high swing down the line, and right now, there's a touch called?
Net violation.
Net, thank you very much.
Net violation on the Tornadoes to negate that hitting error by the Untouchables.
A lot of big blocks over there. Kyle Schwede on the right side. He's definitely having to swing to some well-formed blocks there between Roshitz and Opurum, so a lot of pressure on him to find a way to start, getting some points and get some energy and momentum created. Another tough miss serve, but honestly, first time in this gym for these guys. Everyone's coming off that little bit of travel. The focus right now is don't let miss serves bring your energy down. Keep finding a way, keep getting your swings, warm it up. Like you said, we've got a marathon. This isn't a sprint. You got 5 games, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you either got to find it or you got to make some adjustments to find it. And so being early on still, find your range a little bit, get your arm ready, get the timing down. Obviously, the toss is as important as it needs to be all the time. And here we see the Untouchables calling a timeout since they're currently down by 5. And just a little regroup here, maybe kind of strategize a little bit on what they need to do. Obviously, just find the court, hit the ball in court. And
yeah, I've got to take a second and look at the Dallas Tornadoes. I mean, this team, looking at the 3 pins right now between Chapman, you've got Sanchez and Roshitz. Obviously, we knew that, Roshitz and Sanchez, they brought a lot of firepower this last event. But getting Felix Chapman, all 6'8" of that on the right side, it's really allowing these middle blockers, and we're seeing Chike Opurum, number 13, coming back, delivering exactly what we want to see. Huge addition with number 43 as well. That's going to be Jesse Colon.
Yeah. Yeah, really, you're also seeing, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick, but you're also seeing a healthy Roshitz as well.
Yes.
So he's not relying on his lefty, arm swing, doing that, which obviously isn't his strength. But and again, the block and defense of the Tornadoes has really been upgraded since that last event.
Yeah, completely. Alou passes, and there's going to be the 7-footer. Balanza coming right through the middle. Nice touch by Hernandez, but not quite able to find his dig there.
Yeah, nice to see Balanza get a good swing there, finally getting him activated through the middle. Untouchables need to do that a little bit more. I mean, they got a nice pass on the offensive there, and Balanza putting it down. But once again, they shoot themselves in the foot with another missed serve.
Yep, and that's one of those things we talk about, the presence of having a 7-footer or just big middles in general. When you have a tight pass like that was, Cap's able to kind of just poke that ball up there, let a guy hang and bang, and that's where you're really going to get the benefit of such a tall middle.
Yeah, absolutely. His range is pretty big. Big window.
Pretty big indeed, and there he is. The man delivers once again, and that's where you really get the value out of having Ryan Alou in the back row. Great pass. Cap delivers a nice set there, and Balanza dealing some points once again.
Yeah, you can see that definitely after that timeout, they emphasize getting that pass up to the net so they can feed the big man, give him some chances and opportunities to get a set that's in system for 2 quick kills.
The set's going to go just outside, and Sanchez sets it over. And now Tom Burrell takes his chance, and we are seeing Chicago Untouchables return to the system of old. They want to run their middles over and over and over, and that all starts with a pass. And that's why we said the added addition of number 5, Ryan Alou, is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the passes are there, Milanzic has struggled a little bit offensively, so getting the ball into the middle has really started to help the Untouchables here.
A little bit of a jungle ball play there. That one comes over quickly from Chike Opurum. He sees an opportunity to jam that one down, and Tom Burrell not quite able to get the touch, and I believe he netted there. Opurum was using a little bit of a short float, like to target Milnazic cross court. Goes right back to him now. Backside D-ball. Opurum gets a dig 25 feet into the court. That's going to be free-balled over and reset for the Untouchables. And now they go right back to Tom Burrell. That is 4 kills out of the middle and about 6 points.
Ever since that timeout that they called, Coach Mitch, I believe, over there, it's like, we got to feed our middles. They're streaking them right now. They're 4 for 4 since that timeout out of the middle. Still down by 3 points. They just got to score some, not score some points, create some problems from the inline here for the Tornadoes.
And there's Cap absolutely hammering the ball. Nice block touch by Burrell. Another one. That one goes just out. That's going to be a kill there for the setter, Jordan Canire. And little use off the hands of Tom Burrell.
It's about time that 33 gets involved offensively, and he takes a swing at that one for the kill.
Cap outside, and there's going to be the kill we've been wanting to see there on the, on the outside. They go to the opposite there, and they use Kyle Schwede.
The lefty opposite hitting on the left side of the court. Felix Chapman just kind of over-rotated on his block move there and created a little alley for Schwede to hit through.
Milnazic serve into the net. I think we're pushing right around 8 service errors now if I had to, toss a number out. It's been pretty egregious, but Chicago Untouchables still only down by 4. So if that's something that they cut that number in half, this match looks a little bit different. So we'll see how they kind of handle that as the match continues on.
Yeah, at this point of the first set here, Untouchables are going to take their second timeout. Obviously, they've made some good adjustments on setting out of the middle, right? Their passing is maybe upgraded a little bit. But going forward into that next set, they're definitely going to have to figure out their service game, right?
100% the case. And, it's so interesting to see the way that team dynamics work. So Chike Opurum had a good defensive blocking event 1, but sometimes still we just weren't seeing the Tornadoes click in a way that it was hard to tell. As a middle blocker, creating value for yourself so much of the time is a defensive effort. And so when the team wasn't firing on all cylinders, it was hard to see how much value he was creating. Couple of these upgrades now, we're seeing those moves that Chike is moving left and right. He's getting a ton of block touches, making his presence known. We saw him get a huge dig in the backcourt there, and Chike Opurum is really, really having a great showing so far. Yeah,
getting some help from his pin blockers as well. Those guys are, Chapman wasn't at the first one. He's 6'8", so that's going to help them out as well.
Sanchez with a big serve out of the timeout. Schwede goes with that big lefty arm swing and finds... Nope, does not find the line. That one's going to be just long. Also looking for a touch, but not going to get it. Yep. Good adjustment here by Sanchez. After the last timeout that he had to serve, he missed it coming out of there. So good adjustment here. Keeps that serve in and earns another point for the Tornadoes. Nice pass by Ramos. Burrell is shut down, and the middle blockers for the Dallas Tornadoes are absolutely delivering. That is another block by number 43, Jesse Colon.
Yeah, great adjustments. I mean, I think they were tired of seeing the Untouchables middles get their kills, and right there, that's a great way to finish that first set. So we are going to be changing ends here between sets.
Out here in Atlantic City, this is the first time actually that new look of the NVA, a little switch sides here.
Haven't seen a side switch in over a year and a half in volleyball.
The mask mandate actually ended today here in New Jersey with Memorial Day weekend rolling around. So that was a state decision. So our athletes might choose to be wearing masks, but it is no longer required. And with that, obviously NVA is still taking care of all safety precautions, making sure our athletes are healthy, taken care of. But we are trying to return to standard, rules of play.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. It's, I think, very welcomed. Everyone's kind of gone through all the things with the last year and a half, but NVA's back, and we're excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity to play in Atlantic City, especially over the holiday weekend, and kind of off to a good start, It's exciting to see.
It is, and it's going to be really important if you kind of get a chance to see. We're in one of the convention centers here in Harrah's Casino, and so one of the sides has a lot. It's got a wall behind it, and one is a lot more open. So the depth perception does matter. There's a little bit of that difference when you're swinging, and so side switches can matter here. So
yeah, definitely. It'll be good that both teams are playing on both ends of the court as opposed to just being solidly staying in stationary sides, because there is going to be some advantages for sure, and it just levels the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. And just to kind of throw it back to what this match really means. So if you haven't seen the NVA before, or you don't remember from Event 1 when we talked about it a little bit, so the way that the league is structured is we have an American and a national conference. And so the top 4 of the 5 teams in each conference will qualify for event number 4. So it's really important that you're not in that last spot to qualify. And it just goes from overall record. And then from there, we look at FIVB points. And the way that works is you score 3 points if you win a match in 3-0 or 3-1. You get 2 points if you win it in 5. You get 1 point if you lose in 5, and you get no points if you lose in 3 or 4 games. And so with that being said, the points are used to determine tiebreakers. So getting both these teams having 0-3 weekends to start at that first event, it's really important that they come back here, they start picking up those wins. If they're going to lose in 5. So, we're going to go the distance here, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we've touched on it throughout this game so far. You've seen both teams make those adjustments after the first weekend. Being 0-3 is definitely not the direction that either one of these programs want to be headed in. And so, obviously, regrouping, focusing, getting some new guys, focusing on the block and defense for the Tornadoes or the quick offense for the Untouchables. You can see those trainings and practices impact how they're playing right now, because they need to have a good turnaround and maybe come out of this weekend being 3-3, right? They need to go 3-0 instead of 0-3 like they did, in weekend number 1.
Absolutely, and it's crazy that we talk about this is the 0-3 because following this is the Titan matchup, the Las Vegas Ramblers taking on the Utah Stingers, 2 of the 3-0 teams.
Yeah.
So
nice.
we do the exact opposite, a little bit of a flip. So that one's going to be
that will be a good one.
That's going to deliver for sure.
Someone's looking for their first loss on the record book there. I guess I shouldn't say looking for it, but someone's hoping to give the first loss to the other team.
I was thinking of the cheeky response to that, and I was just like,
it's early still. I'm on California time here.
Yeah, that was interesting waking up at what felt like 4 a.m., to get the day ready to go. But for volleyball, there is no wrong time of day. You just, you get it moving, get up, and make sure that
we're not complaining. We're not complaining. We're happy to be here. We're happy that you're here watching wherever you may be, too.
And if you're at work on this Friday morning, no one's going to tell. Just toss the headphones in, enjoy it. And if you're able to be home, what a great way to start the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Chike Oporum starting us off here in game 2. Quick set back to the middle once again. Nice off-block cover. That's going to be chipped over and kept alive by Schwede. Wow, Cap gets a 180 set, but that is shut down from the double block there of Cologne. And number 33, that's Jordan Kanairi. Wow, once again, that blocking prowess.
Really good block. Really emphasizing Milanzik, too. I mean, they're realizing that he's going to get a lot of attempts, and they've really shut him down so far in this match.
Set goes long.
Milnazik,
yeah. And they're next to each other, Milanzik and Milnazik. Yeah. Ian Cap with that cannon. See if he can get a little run, maybe give the Untouchables a cushion to start this off. A little bit of a jinx for him there. It was interesting. Last match, we saw Tornadoes take a 4-0 lead, and it did get closed up, but they won by about that same, they started the way they finished.
Yeah, the Untouchables made good adjustments, but they just weren't able to seal the deal at the end there.
And there's the gimme pass. They go short, and Milanzik's able to pass it. Cap gives him the set right away, lets him score, and gets the middle established early. It's one of those things we always preach here, and I believe it at all levels of volleyball. If you've got middles that can swing, establish them early, get them ready to be involved, and we see the Untouchables delivering on that here.
Well, especially if they're 7 feet tall.
And there's the ace. Once again, that's going to find a little bit of a split between Roschitz and Chapman there, and they're disagreeing, but Sanchez says, boys, let's shake it off. Let's get right back into it.
So, look, this is a good adjustment, right? The jump serves haven't been working. He stayed down to the jump float, served it into the stack, right, between Roschitz and Chapman, and he gets an ace. So, good adjustment there.
Set to the outside, and Chapman swings deep. Our line judge loses his flag and calls that one long. Tornado's a little bit rattled right now with some of the calls they're getting. I saw that long, and I saw no touch as well. I think we're dialed in here. You know, we were talking about us waking up early, but these refs were ready to deliver thanks to the team in red here.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that move before where the linesman flag actually came out of the hand on the way up.
Off the tape. Pass by Cologne. And that's going to be a little chop down the line. I think there's a little bit of a curse over on that side of the court right now for the right sides trying to go line. That's the third or fourth missed swing down the line that we've seen. Everyone trying to activate that a little bit, not quite finding it.
Yeah, or maybe just the team on the left side of the court on the screen is that's the better side right now.
Yep. It's got the mojo.
Yep.
And you talk about mojo. There's another great serve, but that time that was a jump serve coming out, so he needed to find a little bit of a start, goes for a float, gets the ace, gets another point, and then gets another ace in the same run. That's 2 aces right there. Huge serving effort.
Yeah, and it's something we've talked about a lot in the past, Nick, is the serve progression, right? You make your first serve. If you get an ace, great, but you keep it in play, and you kind of create the momentum from the inline for your team and get the other squad on their heels a little bit. There's another example of it.
Right there. You want to talk about momentum. Ramos, we haven't seen him get involved too much, and he was a kill leader for this team at Event 1. So you obviously want to see him get back involved as well, and he's got a lot more firepower, so there's not as much weight on his shoulders this time. But seeing him get that big kill early on, love to see it. Service pressure is coming through, leaps and bounds.
Oh.
And leaps and bounds, we'll see ya. That one's going to a different zip code.
Nice run, though.
Great run.
But just missed that one. Slightly out of bounds long.
Just a bit outside. Sanchez see if he can answer back now and get a little momentum heading back the way of the Tornadoes. And he can indeed. Aces number 5, the man in blue. Alou cannot quite find that pass.
I think Alou was looking for a little bit more heat right there. Sanchez kind of took a little bit off, just gave it a nice little top spin, kind of dropper.
Yep.
And Alou didn't catch on to it.
Finds that one well. And there's Balanza getting involved again, but a dig on Hernandez. Sanchez with a nice chop swing. Dug by Milnazic. Set outside, and Ramos takes a big swing, but the 6'8" Chapman shuts that ball down with a great clamp block.
That was a bit of a trap set there, and Ramos really had nowhere to go. Chapman makes a great move, gets his hands over the net, and is able to kind of seal that down for the point.
Such a disciplined blocking move there. Alou airs it out in the middle of the court and goes right back to Ramos, and this time Ramos looks for that jam. This is we're playing with FIVB rules. You're not going to get that. Shaquille Sanchez is looking for a little bit of a disagreement there, but I mean FIVB is really loosening it up on set calls as well as the offensive moves. So you're going to see a lot more kind of the throws and things like that. So as long as you aren't adjusting the trajectory of your arm, as long as it goes straight back to straight front, they're probably not going to call that. So it's a good adjustment by Ramos. After getting blocked straight down, he wants to kind of control that ball a little bit more, use the hand of Chapman, or in this case, finds a hole.
Yeah, it's something that offensively the players need to take full advantage of if they have the capabilities of doing that. And then defensively, those teams, they need to be ready and have to be on their toes for those kind of off-speed, not a swing but not a tip kind of thing. It's almost, and it's not a throw, obviously, because they're not being called for it, but just kind of brings a different angle, different look into that offensive opportunity. Yeah,
and it's one of those things that you traditionally see a lot more of it with the middle blockers, kind of. When they're traveling with the ball, they might kind of get on top of it. Mm-hmm. It was a lot less common years ago to see with a pin. So the fact that you're seeing the outsides and right sides doing it a little bit more.
Yeah. Something we're not seeing from both of these teams is a little bit of the back row attack, especially in their serve receive and their offensive a little bit. So, it's something that we're seeing a lot of front row offense, obviously a lot of quick attacks from the Untouchables, strong right sides from the Tornadoes, not as much quick middle attacking from them, but passing has been pretty solid on both sides. We've seen a nice rebound turn around back for the Untouchables here, being up by 4. Early on in the second set after losing, the first set 25-19 and kind of not looking great right out of the gates, but they've kind of found themselves here. They created some momentum for themselves at the end of that first set, and it's definitely carried over for them here.
It really has.
Yeah.
It really has. And one of the things that also helps, mid-play is right now we're seeing the Tornadoes do a good job of covering their hitters. So any ball that's trickling over, their off blockers are doing a great job covering their guy up. And it's extending some rallies that are earning them some longer rally points as well. Hernandez puts Tornadoes in system, and Chapman jumped a little bit early. I think a miscommunication on what set was expected there. So he gets under that one and swings into the net. Untouchables more than happy to take the free point.
Yeah, a little bit of just a timing misconnection there. A little bit of I think Chapman was looking for a faster set.
Yep.
Or maybe the location was just a little bit too wide for him.
This is going to be a one pass, and that's going to be a big swing off the hands there for Roshitz. Cap goes back to the middle, and Tom Burrell showcasing that huge range, goes over his left shoulder and slams that one down in the middle of the court. Middles in transitions. Love to see it.
Well played by Burrell to be up in the air so that the Untouchables setter could just throw it into him there. Cap saw him, gave it to him, and Burrell with a nice swing cut back for the kill.
Once again to Roshitz, and this one he goes down the line, but that one's going to be called for a touch. No disagreements there. Love to see him answer back after being dug. Gets a big swing, and
yeah, great line swing by Roshitz there, and looked like it went off the block of Schwady.
Yeah, Schwady caught that one. Going backside to Schwady, and that's going to be red. Great adjustment. One of those things is a blocker. Anytime you get lefties that are hitting against you, you've really got to talk about blocking adjustments because the way that they swing is so different. So that's a great adjustment there by Roshitz. And as a beach player, he's so comfortable seeing those kind of things and making that adjustment.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that too, Nick. That was definitely a well-made block move by Roshitz, but that's definitely something that he's been doing on the beach. You saw him stop short, a lefty attack, so the attack angle was way inside, and he dove back into that cross court for the point.
Back set, try to get Schwady involved once again, and he's going to find that corner. Good adjustment, and you love to see that deep swing. It's big bounces look fun. They're a great thing to go post on your social medias, but when you're able to find that deep swing like that, that's a great way to score, and it's very difficult to cover up as a defense.
High and deep, is always a good thing, and you'd like to see the defense make an adjustment on where they want him to hit the ball to.
And there's Chapman just absolutely hammering that through the block of Ramos. There's a huge mismatch in size there, as you see the 6'8" Chapman there going up against Ramos, who's 6'2", so a lot smaller of a block. Using that mismatch, good identification there on the side of Tornadoes.
Good awareness by the setter to see that mismatch, and take advantage of it. One thing those young setters out there have to do, if you're watching this, or a younger setter playing club volleyball or something like that, you always got to know your hitter versus blocker matchups in every rotation.
One-handed set to the outside, and there's the lefty swing from Roshitz. Another attempt here, and Chike Oporum forces that one through. Burrell goes one-on-one with the blocking move and not able to find the stop. There's that versatility, though, from Roshitz. We see the one-handed set from Kanairi to go outside. Roshitz goes up left-handed, keeps that one alive, and the Tornadoes are able to end the rally through the middle.
Yeah, some good heat on it, too. Was a strong, ambidextrous player there, Roshitz.
Yep. That time applies a little too much of that strength. Just sends that one long, and Chicago Untouchables are going to have another middle serving. Tom Burrell back there, see if he can make some magic happen. Back one there from Chike Oporum, but Bolanzik and Milnazik are sitting on top of that one, and that double block. Bolanzik makes sure that the Tornadoes know he's there, and that is not the offensive look you want to get going.
Don't wake up that sleeping blocking giant right now.
Quick set to the outside. It's a little bit low. Picked up by Schwady. Ooh, nice recovery there. Low bump set. Milnazik sets over. Looks for the dump. Jam dump covered by Milnazik. Back set. One of the first D-balls we see, and it delivers. Hernandez does not find the dig. What a great swing there from Kyle Schwady.
Nice scramble play by the Untouchables there. A couple of jousts, a couple of blocks off of some setter dump attempts, but a nice high swing down the line by Schwady to end that rally.
Good float there from Burrell. Nice dig, too. Keeps the rally alive. Back set. This one's going to be low, have to be set over. Ramos takes it with his hands. There's the big attempt to Ramos. Oh, there it is. We're seeing the offensive abilities, and you're seeing number 33, Kanairi, wants to get involved. You know, Jordan going for that dump last time, doesn't quite find it, and this time on the tight dig to the net, he just opens up, takes a big righty swing, and finds a touch.
Yeah, trying to catch the blockers off guard, you know, for the Untouchables, and was able to do it on that attempt.
Milnazic airs it out in the middle of the court. D-ball, that goes off the head, and a net called. Yep, number 43 confirms that. Cologne not quite able to stay clean on that attempt, and that's going to be a timeout. Wow. Untouchables answering back brilliantly. A 5-point lead, 16-11.
Yeah, really nice response to see them kind of figure out. Well, first of all, they just created the momentum at the end of that first set that they've been able to carry into this second one. But really got out of the gates good. Nice 4-0 run. Got a good, good service run from Milnazic, right, early on, and they've been able to kind of keep the attacking and transition has really kind of paid some dividends for them as well, throughout this second set. So.
It really has, and one of the things to pay attention to, everyone always praises women's volleyball for the defensive prowess of the teams, their ability to extend rallies, and it's something that is, I don't know if critiqued, but it's always talked about, right? How do men try to match that level when there's so much firepower coming off those swings? And so when you see teams able to get a couple block touches, a couple digs, extend rallies, that really becomes the difference in so many close matches, because even 2 or 3 defensive moves that earn you points, that's the difference in the ball game, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and it creates the momentum and some excitement on your squad. It's infectious a little bit, right? Everybody starts to work harder, get those touches. You see guys diving all over the place, getting the ball, keeping it in play and getting it back over the net. It's all really good momentum builders for sure, for both squads.
And we've seen, I think it's something about this side of the court in terms of the blocking moves. We've seen Dallas Tornadoes slow down just a little bit, but I think a lot of that is also credit due to number 4, Ian Kapp, doing a great job of spreading the offense. We saw a D-ball and a couple big routes there be run from the side of the Untouchables, and that really helps hold your middle blocker a little bit more. That's going to make, Cologne and Chike Oporum slow down just a little bit, and that's going to give your pin hitters a little bit more time to kind of wheel and deal there.
Definitely some more opportunities and options for all the hitters here.
Big swing. Oh, just squeaks it through the lower right arm. That's going to be a good answer back from Chapman. Bolonzik not able to find that one.
One of those problems when you're 7 feet tall is you can't, penetrate. You penetrated over the net, great. You just didn't seal that as you were too high, and that's where that ball found its way down.
Milnazic tries to go for that cheeky, throw down the line. No arm there. Good disciplined blocking move from the Tornadoes, and that one's going to go long. Or wide, sorry.
Just some of these hitting choices, resulting in the hitting errors. It's just keep the ball in play. Find a corner, keep it in the court, give yourself a chance.
And Milnazic, they go for the repeat. Cap wants to keep his guy involved. Teammates from Kane University, and just not quite able to make it work here.
Yeah, go to the big man in the middle here.
And they do. That's going to be in. A nice high swing well over the top of that block. And the best part is, it was a good help. That's a double block, well formed, but he's just size wins there.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. Like, you got to keep him involved every single opportunity you get. That wasn't even a really quickly timed quick attack. That was a little bit of a slower one, but give him the ball. Let him swing at it.
Ramos throws it back, and this is going to come over. Good dig attempt there by Alou, but there's way too much heat on that from Chapman. Just hammers the ball into the angle.
Yeah, strong attack from Chapman there. He's not afraid of the 7-footer. He's going hard into that angle, and he scores the point.
Sekiel looking for a service run, see if he can get 1 or 2 to help close up this gap, 2-point gap we've got right now. Off the chest of Ramos on the serve. We're seeing a lot of heat coming off of both teams on the service lines, and sometimes that's where you really do see those service errors come through, but these guys are hammering serves right now. They're not waiting for anything.
Yeah, they're scoring points. Now all of a sudden Tornadoes are just down by 1, making this interesting here, the second half of the second set.
Goes for Ramos once again and gets him on back-to-back aces. We're seeing a little bit of the outsides right now on the Untouchables, a little rattled. Milnazic with some back-to-back hitting errors and now back-to-back aces on your other guy.
Credit to the server for keeping it away from Alou and realizing that he's their best passer. Go down the line of Ramos, who's probably, maybe their second or third best passer here, and score some points.
And Alou gets him right back in system. But Schwady is shut down once again. We talked about the return of that Tornadoes block that was so impactful, and here it is. Right back in, scores a great point.
Yeah, good well-formed block by the Tornadoes. They needed that. Now, all of a sudden, their momentum is in full effect. They've taken the score back. They find themselves up by 1.
Friendly bounce off the top of the tape. Ramos to the outside, and he's able to find that kill down the line. A lot of talk through the net, some choice words said. Everyone getting a little feisty out here. I like it. Both these teams wanting to make it known. A quick acknowledgement.
No one wants to be 0-4 after this match.
No, they do not. Ramos and can I dab it up in the middle there? Just say my bad. And Ramos gets that one. He's more than happy after a little bit of something to say. Let the play do the talking, and there it is.
Yeah. No reason to talk too much. Just, let your play do the talking for you.
Untouchables now take that 1-point lead back. We are late in the game and battling for that, that race to 5 or 6 points here. And there's that huge mismatch in size once again. Tied up at 19s now. We are late in the game, so it is officially the race to 6 as we're tied at 19s.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the Tornadoes have created their momentum. They're back in it, even though they've been down this entire second set.
Schwady goes for that hard angle, and out of all swings to find, that was a heck of an offensive effort. He's more than thrilled. He's one of those guys, keeps it light on the court, and he knows he's had some hitting errors, so finding the court, definitely putting him in a good spot. See if he can keep that energy going here on the service line.
Yeah, being the lefty, he had a little extra hard angle on that one.
Goes for a standing float, though.
And then rarely seen. The white rhino of volleyball now these days is a standing float serve.
With good reason. Picked up well on the side there of the Dallas Tornadoes.
Yeah, not that effective.
No. There's a fine line between mitigating errors and giving away free points, but right as I talk about the difference, there was at least a chance for the Untouchables to play that last point there.
That's
a serve in the net doesn't allow that, and that's going to be right back to the Untouchables.
And then another with service error, so very interesting little action back and forth here on missed serves, and let's see. I don't think Roshitz will miss this one.
No, but if you need to grab coffee, come back and we'll get it all out of our system. We'll we'll get right back to it. You're our guy, Steve. Alou airs it out in the middle of the court. Outside to Milnazic, and there's that line angle swing that he relies on so frequently. Chapman lets his block know, hey, that's perfect. You're in the right spot. It's a good swing. I'll try to make that move, but he goes thumbs up, says, guys, don't change a thing.
Yeah, nice side out there.
Quick set. There's the D-ball from Chapman. Ramos a little too shallow in the backcourt. I'd love to see him get involved. We haven't seen too many D-ball efforts with a guy his size and his swinging prowess. I'm kind of shocked by it, to be honest. So maybe it's a little bit of just not playing together yet, and so there's not quite that established chemistry.
Yeah, I think if anything, right now you can see there is a little bit of a timing issue for the Tornadoes. We've seen it a couple times throughout this match so far with a new setter and some new personnel, maybe just a few kinks to work out still a little bit.
And there was a triple block that time. But this speaks to the experience of Chapman. Last time he told his guys, don't change a thing. He gets the same swing hit at him this time, and there's a net, but Chapman gets a great dig if there hadn't been. So he knows what he wants to do on defense. Love to see a big man that can step in there and lip a ball. Great pressure from Cap. That one's going to be tight, and that's going to be a net from number 33. Yep, on the follow-through goes into the net, and that's going to be the Untouchables taking us to game point here. Lucky break because Milnazik had, Kaniri really put that one right through Milnazik. So lucky that.
Yeah, but with Cap serving right now, you can see his toss is really nice and high. His approach line is really aggressive.
Hammers that home and ace to end the game. And if you remember, this is the same Ian Cap that back in November, playing against the LA Blaze, was down, I believe, at 18-24 on game point, hit 7 aces in a row.
Yep, I remember.
And Cap making an excellent return to the court, not missing a beat. And, man, ending a game on an ace at any time, that's not a period to the end of the game. That's an exclamation point.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Nick. Definitely a good way to finish that game. You saw the second set. The Untouchables made some great adjustments, right? I touched on it earlier. They created some momentum at the end of the first set, right? They went 4 for 5 out of the middle, and then came out really good in that second set, started up 4-0, and finished it the way that they started. So right now, the Tornadoes brought a little momentum back late in that second set where they actually got that lead back by a point or two, but Untouchables really, making their presence felt after losing that first set and coming back nicely. Absolutely,
and it's so interesting. We tend to talk about how teams have an established offense, what they're looking for, and it was interesting because the Untouchables clearly wanted to play through the middle in that first set. And just now, obviously, we were seeing Blonzik and Buffum getting their Burrell getting their kills, but they were earning points through everybody right there. And so it was really coming down, could they scrap those points out? Could they force some errors? Could they put the pressure on the service line? They picked up, I think, about 4 aces that game as a team, because we saw Milnazik get 2 early on, another one from Cap at the end there. So a lot of service pressure, and it's very interesting when a team is just firing on all cylinders. It really speaks to how diverse they can be.
Yeah, and they had made a few too many service errors in that first set. So to see the adjustments that they made there by keeping that first serve in, creating that service progression, right, some momentum from the inline for each individual server, was nice to see that adjustment as well.
It really is. And so now the pressure, we're going to see, Dallas Tornadoes flipping backsides, but we're going to take a quick look at the current standings. So this is coming into the day. Earlier we were talking about those conferences. On your screen right now, you can see the American Conference and the National Conference. So we're going to have that Stingers Ramblers. This is a huge matchup next because it's the American Conference, number 1, number 2, 3-0 teams. And we're right now seeing the number 5 seeds in both the American and the National. So while this doesn't affect them in the head-to-head conference standings, this is really going to matter in terms of trying to catch that 3rd, that 4th, and the guys ahead of you. So you can also see on the National Conference, Team Freedom, the only 3-0 team. One of the big shockers, we saw the OC Stunners go 0-3 in that first event. And just a little sneak peek, I can tell you right now, that OC Stunners was not afraid to make a roster overhaul. We're going to see a bunch of big new names. Corey Shaver is going to be making his return. We're going to see Josh Eisenberg, fresh in from Israel, playing over at Tel Aviv. He's going to be here. They've got some new setters. There is a ton of firepower on that team, so do not expect that 0-3 to stand through the weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, good to see the adjustments coming back in.
Yeah. So, we said Dallas Tornadoes, what they're going to have to do. And I think the real easy reliance, the firepower is there. No question about it, right? We're going to see those big swings. But when they were finding good block touches, that's when we see that team's system really establish itself. They find the good rallies. And we're seeing Kaniri running a great offense right now. He's finding some pretty good locations. A couple tempo adjustments to work out between him and Chapman on that right side. But overall, they're connecting great.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the Tornadoes come out and respond to that Game 2 loss, right? They've got to create some excitement and some momentum on their side from their inline, but then to see if they can come out of the gates a little bit faster than that second set. I think they know what to expect now from the Untouchables and their quick attack, right, emphasis, and then also with where Cap is setting, their lefty, opposite and Schwady. I think everyone's kind of shown their cards right now. It's just about who can be more consistent, especially from the inline, create some point-scoring opportunities there, and then it'll translate to the rest of the action.
Yeah, we're as we're getting back into the action, we're getting a chance to see the rosters. There's no adjustments on either side. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Both these sides are looking great right now. So, like you said, we're just going to see this be a knockdown, drag out, and both these teams, wanting to get their licks in.
Are we going to start this weekend off with a 5-gamer?
I think we are. I really do. From the game 1, that's what I was saying. I think we're going the distance.
Well, no one wants to be 0-4 in this league, so.
And there's the A's.
Nice start right there.
And how do we end game 1 or game 2 right there? Ian Cap crushing an ace. How do we start game 3? Right where he left off.
Yeah, give credit to Coach Mitch for starting his team off in that right rotation. Rotation 1 with your setter serving, and when your setter is one of your best servers, you got to put him back there.
Yep. And there goes off speed. One-handed punch by Hernandez gets a free ball. And they go right back to the 7-footer. Dug in the back row, and Sanchez tries to tip it over. And you're going to have to tip a little bit higher than that because Bolonzik is not letting that one come over.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the best choice, Sanchez right there, just made for a tip in front of the 7-footer. Bolonzik says, thank you very much.
Yep. And it was interesting. You're talking about, Cap being the setter with all that service pressure, and there's another ace. What's so crazy is last time we saw him play, he was playing outside. There are so few players that, outside opposite. Okay, maybe they're a little bit more interchangeable. Setter outside, it is such a rare combination to see outside of maybe someone like Micah Ma on the USA team.
Yep.
There are so few players that are able to do that. And here is that serving prowess coming through early. Cap is ready to make his NVA return heard.
Yeah, just exact same situation as last game, a 4-0 run right out of the gates with the Untouchables. Tornadoes really struggling to get their serve reception game on point.
And he misses that one, but I got to say, I happen to know that the current ace leaders have 6 aces, and that's Brandon Rattray on the Las Vegas Ramblers, and Ragland, who's currently on the bench for the Chicago Untouchables, tied at 6. I think Cap might already be putting pressure on taking that lead in one game or in one match.
I totally agree. And we're not even through through the third set of that match yet, so he's already.
And that's after event 1. That was an event culmination. So seeing that pressure, guys, number 4 is probably the best server in the league. Milozic ready to get his time on the back line. Sanchez is going to free ball this up and a step from Oshitz. Nice swing dug by Alou. Goes backside to Schweedy, and there's that block touch once again, the size of Chapman, ready to just be heard. He is so technical and good on his hands. He's over every time pushing back in court.
Yeah, Cap needs to know where Chapman's blocking and probably choose to set away from him if I was him. It was a nice against-the-flow set by Cap, but in that situation might not have been the right matchup.
A little bit of momentum kill there. Blanc's had several good serving runs as well. See if he can open something up early on here, extend this lead. Going to send that one just long. Get Sakil to do a little bit of a range check. Jumps, and he knows if he's jumping with his hands up, that ball's probably going long.
If I'm the Untouchables, I would maybe think about subbing in Billy Ragland to serve for Bolonzik and get another strong jump server on the end line there.
Certainly an option. We might see that come out here. And there's this, we were kind of being critical of set selection. That's a tough one. You're going into Opurum and Chapman there as the undersized Ramos. And Ramos makes it work, though. He finds that line swing that they've been trying, gets the outside hand. Great point for the Untouchables.
Yeah, we're saying that it's easy for Cap to just, pick the off blocker to set towards. But the Tornadoes are a good blocking team, so there might not really be an off blocker all the time to set towards.
Very true. And there's that left swing.
No.
Oh, no. Cap's ankle looks okay. He's going to make another move. High off the block touch, dug by Alou. And Burrell takes a swing. That's typed by Hernandez, kept alive by Opurum. A little cheeky back set. That one goes down.
Whoa. What's happening?
In the middle of that point, there was a lot of talk about Roshitz looked like he came under, but he was outside the court. So the rule is as long as you're outside of the tan lines there, you are not going to be called for under. So when he and Cap made contact there, I was a little worried that Cap's ankle was going to be going down. But, Cap's looking like he's okay. He's saying, all right, guys, cool your jets. A lot of talk here going on. And we're going to see a substitution coming in, and that's going to be, I believe, Holiday coming in. But we've got a technical timeout here at 8.
Yeah.
So
a lot of things going on here. There was a substitution. Holiday was going to come in to serve, and then we've got a timeout called, technical timeout at 8.
Yep. We're switching it back. Maybe it was a little lagged early on.
Got a lot of talk going from the Tornadoes to the down ref about where he was landed. Under the net, center court violation. A lot of things happening here, but anyways, let's bring it back, Nick. Okay.
Yeah.
Untouchables find themselves up by 5. Good turnaround here into the third set, creating that momentum.
One of those things we talk about team identity, right? Untouchables, it's just the serving pressure, I think. That's what we can I was saying, how does a team win? They're picking up those aces, getting right back on that pressure. They're forcing bad out-of-system swings from the side of the Tornadoes, and that's what you've got to focus on. Keep that pressure on, and that's why when they were willing to make those service errors early on, it's really paying off for them now. Everyone found their stride, and it's so important because you have to know your role in your serving lineup, if you will. And so when you see certain guys getting the green light, trying to crush a serve, that's where they need to have the confidence that other guys are hitting their serves as well. And so we've seen the Untouchables kind of shore that up. They're all on the same page, and now they're really firing on all cylinders from the service line.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing that they are a strong serving team, especially with the addition of Cap from the inline and with Milnazik being able to kind of throw in some different looks with a jump float, a jump serve, a little short spin serve. And they've also been doing a short jump float into the stack offensively for against the Tornadoes, which has given them some problems as well.
Yep, and we see number 14, David Holiday, one of their opposites from Event 1, making his return to the court for Schwady there. Hand pass by Hernandez. And there's a huge swing, goes over the top. Chapman on the backside, the obvious offensive selection there for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, I'd like to see him probably get a little bit more action throughout this third set, kind of get him activated again. He came out of the gates really strong, made his presence felt really early on in that first set, but he had a quiet second set, so they're going to need to see more action out of him, I think.
Yep, tight pass, handled. Oh, a little off speed there, and Chapman's hands were almost faster than the ball. Burrell getting back involved for the Chicago Untouchables, and that's going to send Ramos back there to see if he can create some momentum with his serve. Goes all the way outside, and there's Roshitz once again. That's the third left-handed swing we've seen, and he hammers that ball with the left.
He gets on it good with his lefty. It's hard to tell as a blocker. You think you're lined up really well with his right arm, and then all of a sudden he comes through and swings with his left, and you're kind of like left hanging out to dry because you don't know. Unless you see it coming, you can't really make that adjustment.
And once again, we return to the fact that he's a beach player. His court vision is exceptional. So having two different arms that are going to swing for him. Nice job there. Milnazik able to get the one-on-one against Kanairi and squeaks that one through.
Yeah, he kind of uses that hang and wait a little bit. Kind of the timing wasn't exactly where they needed it to be, but he was able to ricochet that swing off the block and out of bounds.
Burrell goes float cross court to Roshitz, and Chike Oporum looks to get involved. Does not quite find the block there. Tries to go around Bolonzik because God knows you're not going over him.
I don't think anybody can go over him really. Or at least that we've seen yet. But Oporum definitely was.
Is not going to be the one to, yeah. There's the D ball we've been looking for, and there's a good reason to want to see it. Huge swing there.
Just has a cannon, man. His arm is fast and strong, and he gets on that ball quick. It's got some heat behind it.
And across the league, you talk about, what delivers on almost every team, and the opposites in this league are just full of firepower and size. So definitely a welcome addition for them and something that the Tornadoes needed to see. And there's that tight ball from too far off the net, but, the undersized Milnazik's not going to be able to get that there, and you got a double block.
Let's go back to Chapman really fast and the opposites, that we see throughout the NBA, right? He's definitely one of the bigger guys, okay? What I really would like to see now, considering that this is a newer addition to the Untouchables, is what they're going to do to develop their offensive capabilities throughout the rest of the season, right? They've got a good connection on the back row, but how's their front row connection, right? Maybe speed up that back set a little bit, kind of create a couple of different plays for him, give him a couple of different looks, kind of a couple more in-tempo, right? Faster backside attacking.
Oporum with the float here, handled by Ramos. Outside, covered by Alou. A little bit of miscommunication there. That's going to get a friendly bounce off the top of the tape. Backside to Chapman, and he's going to swing that one cross-court, hard angle. Man, these teams are really chirping through the net quite a bit. They're making it known when they're ready to score points, and
Not really sure what they're talking about. We can't hear what they're talking about, but yeah.
Their body language is certainly showing.
A lot of words going through that net right now, for sure.
Good hand pass by Ramos. Blonzik ready to score. God, that connection is just, it has to be your go-to. Big man number 16. And Schwede's going to find his way back in. They were using Holiday there as a defensive substitution to go through the back row. See if they could find a little bit more of a dig or two. So we're going to see that return to Schwede.
Cap with a nice jump serve, but a better pass by Rosic. Sanchez on the left side. He gets stuffed down by Schwede for the point.
And, sometimes getting a little chance to center yourself, get to the bench, see the game from a different angle, see what's going on. It helps you just kind of catch a breath. So great call there from Wiskerchen to make that adjustment for the team.
Wiskerchen.
Yep. And there's the ace once again down the line. And I talked about the man trying to single-handedly take the league record. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have it. If this one really wants to go to 4 or 5, then, it's going to 4 for sure. But if it's going to go 5, I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, definitely putting himself in prime position to be the league ace leader early on in weekend number 2 in his first match, 2020 NBA season.
It's really one of those things also when you look at, kind of stat leaders across the league. It's so frequent that you see the teams that are 3-0 and stuff like that. They'll be the teams that have those kill leaders or point leaders or ace leaders. So when Chicago Untouchables is able to have a couple of the top servers, that's really going to be something that's helpful to them. Chapman able to use his size. And, we're seeing any ball that goes tight for the most part is just going to go the way of the Tornadoes. Because the size of the pins on the outside for the Chicago Untouchables, they're just not going to beat Canary or Chapman here.
Yeah, and that goes for the setter as well for the Untouchables. They're a tall squad. Nice hard swing, though.
Hey, he just needed a little, a break from the back row. He wanted to cycle back. He said, I'm an oppo. Don't make me play some back row here. Let's just get up, hit the ball hard. Finds that lefty swing into the angle. Great kill there for Schwede.
Yeah, lefty swinging from the left side of the court, too. Is definitely a unique hitting angle.
That one's tight. Just goes over the top. And service pressure. Can't say it enough. I love so much we have to talk. We're trying to be correct and critical and aware of the service pressure that teams need to handle. And right now, I love that we're going to talk about how much service pressure the Untouchables are putting on the court right now.
Yeah.
They're forcing overpass after overpass. And, for a team like the Tornadoes that has offensive answers everywhere, you really have to beat a team like that on the service line.
Yeah, and the Untouchables are definitely doing that. They're putting that pressure from the end line onto the Tornadoes and kind of putting the Tornadoes on their heels a little bit. You see some, the new guys are trying to figure out, who's going to take this seam, who's going to take that seam, and we saw that earlier where, you go, I go kind of thing and some clean aces, but really give kudos to the Untouchables for really putting the service pressure on the other team from the end line. And that's thanks to Cap, his jump serves. 4 or 5 aces already in this match. A couple of, and again, just the variety of serves to keep the Tornadoes on their heels like we talked about, but then being specific about who they're trying to serve. I don't think they're afraid to serve anyone. I think they're just trying to serve hard, serve the seams, maybe throwing it down the line. A little short float serve into the stack, kind of take out the middle hitter, something like that. And it's working for him. So a nice adjustment to the Untouchables for sure.
Yeah, and right now if I'm the Dallas Tornadoes, as someone that's played a lot of outside, and we're not seeing a lot of middle attacks. So right now I want to focus on unlocking Rosic, Sanchez, and Chapman. So what that means is if you're setting the pins, and Canaire's got great hands, he's running a great offense, you don't have to be perfectly in system, but you need to put the ball high in the middle of the court to let him go pin to pin. You're not focused on trying to get Opurum, a set every time.
Yeah, and with the serving pressure from the Untouchables, it's gonna really make it difficult for the Untouchables to set quick.
Molnazic with a friendly bounce off the top. Outside, and Chapman's the obvious option. Alou sitting on top of that one, almost catches the ball.
Yeah, he was right there. But it was a one-on-one block situation there. Chapman's obviously going to win that challenge when he has that advantage every single time and takes full advantage of Alou, I think he'll get that ball pretty soon.
Yeah. Yep, once he's back in it all. All right, Sanchez with a nice serve, but in system. Good block touch. Hernandez with the hands, goes high. Nice. Once again, touched by the Untouchables. Another block. Going to the backside, and this one's a double. Off speed, picked up. Alou takes hands, goes to the inside with Ramos. Picked up once again, tried to be kicked over. What a scrappy rally there. Everyone getting some touches.
Nice blocking by the Untouchables. A lot of block backs, couple of touches. Good covering by both teams. Alou almost getting his foot volley action in and is trying to get that ball back over the net. Just a touch short on that one.
Tornadoes now only down by 3. If Sanchez can find another point, that's going to be huge. But that's Bolonzik right back in system.
Setting Bolonzik in the seam right there as the ball gets pushed along the net. That's a great choice by Alou to go. I'm sorry, by Cap to go to the big man in the seam there, and he scores the point.
Goes deep. Sanchez, there's the high pass in the middle of the court so that you can run Chapman. But Tom Burrell ready, goes over low and tight, doing it right. Closes that one down. The Untouchables blocking moves right now are absolutely on fire.
Technically just a very well-formed, sound, disciplined block by Burrell. Got his hands back over the net and gives Chapman the stuff.
Back to Chapman once again, and now they're a little bit in his head. And we're seeing this is a great serving identification here from Bolonzik. So he's serving cross-court to zone 1 so that it's coming over the shoulder of Kanairi from the pass. We'll see if he goes right back to Sanchez again. And it's setting Chicago up well. There's that lefty swing once again. And it is so rare to see someone that can swing with both arms.
Yeah.
It is even more rare to see with someone that can score effectively with both.
I think he's hitting 1,000 as a lefty, and I'm
probably
curious to see what his stats would be righty, but I don't think we have the differentiations of that.
That'd be a fun stat though. The right arm versus the left. That one's going to be tight, tipped over the top. Good adjustment. Set goes outside, and Roshitz takes another big rip down the line, dug by Cap. Schwady tries to take a swing, finds a touch. Sanchez sends it over, free ball. Burrell takes it first and tries to run it right back. Tornadoes not agreeing with the call, whether there was a touch or not. And Captain Roshitz, number 69, is going to get called over, and the ref's going to let him know, hey, you guys, either you talk to me or no one talks to me, but, this whole turn and yell at the ref ain't going to happen. So.
Yeah, especially not during a play. I mean, right. You cannot be yelling at the referee, any of the referees, any of the guys during action, okay?
Just keep playing.
Yeah, you just got to play the whistle, and,
You've heard that phrase from the time you were 14, and it never changes.
Yeah.
Tornadoes find the point all the same, and now we're going to see Cologne on the back line. Goes short with a float, pass by Ramos, and a bump set to the middle, but blocked, covered up by the Untouchables, and Ramos throws another one over the top. Middle line infraction from the side of the Tornadoes. See, this is one of those things. Sometimes you're, as an undersized outside, going into the block of Chapman and Oporum, you are going to get trap set. And sometimes you can be 6 feet off the net, and it's going to feel like a trap set. But the onus is on the outside. We're seeing Ramos tip some balls over, make some adjustments, and that's the expectation for a good outside hitter. So well done by Ramos.
Yeah, you're totally right, Nick. I mean, give yourself a chance. If you don't get the perfect set, give yourself a chance for another one. Continuation of the play.
Wow, huge swing down the line. And we talk about it early on. Knowing where your block mismatches are. And Kanairi knows leaps and bounds that he's got an 8-inch gap over the top there on the backside set. Great option to go back to Chapman.
Still looking to see Alou make that adjustment and step into Chapman's hitting lines.
And there's an ace for Chapman. Coming on strong here late in the third. It's really one of those things, though, for Alou to make that read. He's already putting his helmet on a little bit. And those are some big moves to make, so we know he can. But, man, Chapman is certainly an offensive swing to, you've got to respect it. That one goes just long, but he's putting some pace on that ball.
Yeah, he's athletic as well. I mean, he's jumping really well, hits the ball high, quick, strong arm.
Rochette swings through the block, covered by Cap, but Schwady unable to pull that one out of the score table over there. One of the few times we've seen the Chicago Untouchables block not quite able to get over the net. They've been doing a great job of setting those blocks all match long.
Yeah, they have.
Roshitz hammers the ball to Alou. And Milnazik hammers the ball 4-4. What a great swing, and that's one of his other go-tos. He loves that high line angle swing and then the hard angle 4-4, and he's going to hammer that every time.
I feel like we haven't said his name very much offensively this set, and that was a really nicely timed, well-executed swing by him.
Roshitz misses that one, and it's going to be a chop over there, reset for the Untouchables. A little bit of a sprayed pass, and they roll shot that one wide, not able to take care of essentially a free ball coming back over there.
Yeah, they're going to kick themselves for that one. They had a 3-man block up on a bit of a roll shot. Cap, I don't think, really needed to jump on that one, and then unfortunately that roll shot was not into the wind and goes out wide.
Float serve by Oporum outside, and there's a two-handed kind of jam attempt from Milnazik, but Kanairi is all over that one. Says you're not going to be able to do that one easily, and just throws it right back in.
Not too sure about that choice on that one, but
I think he was going for a reset, really. He was just trying to play it high off the hands, but Kanairi was so over the top that he was actually on top of the ball with broken wrists and just threw that one down.
Yeah.
You're seeing number 13, Will Ragland, on screen right now. One of the best, most vocal trash talkers in the gym. Also a great server, making sure his voice is heard as both these teams are chirping a bit.
Cap kind of blasted that one in. You see a thumbs up from Coach saying that, dude, you got the green light all the time. Let's see if we can miss it out long, though, through the inline and not just right into the net.
Big set to the backside. And there's the huge swing that we've been looking for. I think that was Schwady back there.
No, that was Milnazik.
Was it?
Yep. Brings the Untouchables to set point.
Milnazik's earned a couple aces himself and a couple overpasses. See if he can get another one coming back to end this one. Just long. That was very close.
It's a dangerous combo, back-to-back servers for the Untouchables between Cap and Milnazik, and we're going to see the Untouchables call a timeout here.
I love that timeout. Just on that swap, you've already got a 2-point lead, and right now you're basically icing whoever's going back to serve, doesn't matter, and you're really making that pressure. It's on them, and it's a great call by Coach Mitch Wiskerchen. Wiskerchen.
I agree. You don't get to take those unused timeouts with you. It's not like you put them into the bank and deposit them and save them whenever you want, but use it if you got it. It's set point. Create a good game plan, what you want to do out of this timeout. Offensively speaking, if you've got the 7-footer in the front row, I think it's a no-brainer. You throw him in there and get this set over and move on to set number 4. So,
yep, I can pretty much guarantee right now if they get the pass they're in system, this set's going to the middle. It's been a mismatch all match long, and it's no shocker. To 7-footer up there, you can jump perfect timing, but
kind of going to be a mismatch all season long.
Yeah.
Until another 7-footer comes into the league, which I don't know. It might happen.
Las Vegas Ramblers picking up 6'11" Sean Dennis from UCI making his debut next match, so you'll see him getting in there.
Right.
Little chop off the top. Alou airs it out in the middle, and there's a backside swing from Schwady. Set out to Roshitz. Swings deep, dug by Milnazik. High set outside, and Ramos into the double block. Reset, covered by Alou. Ramos is going to have to manage once again, gets that high swing, and that's what you want to see. Ramos doing a great job in the second half of the third game there, able to manage that big block in front of him, a couple tips, couple high swings. Those are the adjustments that outside hitters ride and die by. He's got to make those early on. Great adjustment from Ramos.
Yeah, excuse me. You're seeing the Tornadoes kind of, really struggling to kind of find themselves. And not a lot of team camaraderie right now, bringing it together, trying to figure out what they're going to do, to sort of counteract this momentum that the Untouchables have taken from them since the beginning, since late game number 1. The Tornadoes are now with their backs against the wall, down 2-1. They're going to really have to figure out what their game plan needs to be, but it's got to start with their passing.
Yep.
We've seen the Untouchables the last 2 sets start out with a 4-0 lead in both games from their service game. And so that's something that they definitely need to figure out moving forward.
It really is, and one of those big things that you focus on when looking at teams' offense and how they execute and the impact and things like that. So right now we're not seeing a lot of offensive capability from the Dallas Tornadoes middles. We have not seen, Chike Opurum able to, I think, got 2 kills early on so far, and then we've seen Cologne maybe get 1. But so to look at the offensive mismatch here that we're seeing between the two sides, because the Untouchables, Burrell and Bolonzik are both hand over fist ready to get involved. So even though the pin hitters are a little bit more effective on the side of the Tornadoes, both teams have fantastic blocking moves going on. The middle offensive difference and the serving pressure is really making the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. The Tornadoes do need to get their middles involved more, but they're having a hard time passing the ball up to the net. And so you can definitely see that there's a little bit of an issue with the connection there between the Tornadoes setter and their middles. But that's also due to the service pressure that you were talking about from the Untouchables.
Yeah, and it's really one of those kind of cycles of rock, paper, scissors, or the chicken and the egg problem when you're talking about a great way to approach volleyball. Because at any point, if you're serving well, it makes your blocking easier because they're out of system. And if your blocking is going well, that means your defense is going to be better. And if you've got better defense, then it means that you're running a better offense. And so it kind of becomes this cycle. And at any point, if you've got guys that are so offensive, maybe that now opens up your ability to serve more aggressively. And you can kind of find your rock in any one of those pieces. And if you find your momentum there, that's what allows these teams to kind of get things moving. And so right now, the Untouchables are relying on that big serving pressure, and it kind of just opens up the rest. So we need to see the the Tornadoes find how they're going to get involved. And I think what that's really going to have to be is some big swings, even when they're out of system, finding effective scoring and minimizing some of those errors. Maybe that's going to put the Untouchables back on their heels a little bit more, give them a little bit more freedom on the service line, and help manage the serve receive, because these serves are just so oppressive.
Yeah, for sure. Again, the momentum that is completely on the side of the Untouchables, right? They're going to need to continue that, right, if they want to win this match in 4. But for the Tornadoes, they really do have to kind of come together as a group, prioritize and emphasize the passing. Who's going to take what seams, talk about who's passing where, create some kind of connection with their middles. Chapman's going to get his attempts. Roschitz is going to get his kills, righty or lefty. But the Tornadoes, they need to create some momentum from their inline as well to score some of those quick points, which I think they've been missing in those last 2 sets.
Yeah, we've seen Sanchez and Chapman both getting a couple aces, but we're going to get a one little adjustment here, and that is going to be a middle adjustment, I believe. So now we're going to see number 9 replacing Chike Opurum, and that is... Sorry, getting some stats adjusted here. That's going to be Angel Rivera out of Barranquita, Puerto Rico. 6'4" middle blocker. Starts off with a float serve, hand pass by Ramos. Bolonzik right over the top. Chicago Untouchables always ready to pick it up right where they left it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see him get that first set of the set. First play of the set, a quick attack out of the middle, establishing him early on and continuing to cause problems for the Tornadoes' block and defense.
Now Cap first server once again. Huge swing.
Oh, what? Net
on the side. I saw that one in actually as well. So point's going to go to the side of the Tornadoes all the same. Net called there on Milnazik. And that's going to bring Kanairi back, the setter. So right now you've got that big mismatch coming back to the front row with Chapman going to be swinging at the outside of Ramos shortly. Let's keep an eye on that. Good hand pass by Ramos once again. And there's the size mismatch, dug by Sanchez. Oh, pancakes kept alive, but a little bit of miscommunication. And that's honestly one of the toughest spots on the court is when you pass in serve receive or dig to left front, because it's so far from where your setter's coming from typically.
Yep.
And outsides are releasing to get their approach. So it kind of creates this dead zone. And right there, a little bit of miscommunication.
And unfortunately for the Tornadoes, I think just communication, needs to be a little bit more emphasized on that play.
Milnazik, great pressure again on the service line. Chop over the 3-man block, and Alou is there to pick it up. Melmazic goes for the deep swing, cannot find hands, and that one's going to go just long. Hey, I love the swing, though. I love the aggression. When you're in a system like that, don't give them a free ball. You've got to take a swing. So that's a good miss in my book.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. It was a good miss. It was aggressive. You can never be upset about aggressive errors. The easy free balls that go out of bounds, those are the ones that really sting.
And that one's going to go just wide. Great job there, but we're seeing, Cap running that spread out offense, and because of his willingness to run Blonzik, you get Ramos the one-on-one, and that makes it a lot more hittable. Still hits out there, so.
Unfortunately, that one should have found the court.
Yeah. Roshitz, he's still able to get one. That's always your goal as a server. If you can at least get one, then you're positive on your run, so able to get one more on the board before sending it back over to the Untouchables. Tied at 3 here. Blonzik does not get the contact, and you could hear it from here. Did not sound like the contact he wanted.
Nope, just sort of missed that one.
Cologne now. Ramos clearly the serving target. Dig for Cologne in the back row. Sanchez looks for the high hands, and no high hands to be. Oh, high hands is found. I didn't see that actually at all. I think Sanchez missed that, but they're front and center, and I saw multiple calls, so I'll just take a seat.
Linesman down there made a no call, but it sure seemed like the ball had been deflected off the block.
All right, guys, we have traded 3 short serves, floats into the net. You got to put those in. We talked a little bit about serving responsibilities. If you're the float server in the team, most float servers are going to be hitting targets as opposed to a lot of pressure and power on their serves, so those have to go in.
Speechless, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a broken record at this point. You all know what's going on with that, so we're going to see if Chapman now can make a little energy. But I do want to talk about, it seems very apparent that Tornadoes are going after Ramos as their serving target. So a lot of serves going at him, but you got to keep him in. Set to the backside, and there's Schwady able to find that. One of the few D-balls goes back, but gets a one-on-one. Again, the value of running your middles effectively and regularly holds the defending middle blocker back and gives your pin hitters one-on-one options. Goes for a little bit of a quick serve there from Ramos. Too quick, in fact. And there's Chapman. Swings that one high off the block there. We've got to see the Dallas Tornadoes continue to make a lot of, make up some ground here. They've got to get a win here or else this one's going to end in 4.
Yeah, you can see they've come out of the gates here with a little bit more intensity in this 4th set, realizing that they don't want to be that team that's 0-4 in this league. And unfortunately, Melazic's started this set off with a couple of hitting errors again after finishing up set number 3 with some good offense. He's kind of gone cold again.
And, it's one of those things, as an outside, sometimes you're really in a situation where you've got to better the ball. And what that means is you've got, a bad pass. You're getting not a great set. You've got 2 or 3 blockers in front of you. You might be one of the more undersized hitters. But bettering the ball means that you don't get to just make errors. You've got to keep it alive. You've got to create as much advantage as possible. Sometimes people reference this as what's called a half point. You keep it alive. You find the weak defender. Can you take a setter out? Can you use a hand? Can you reset the ball and give your team another swing right away? It's not always about hitting the ball for a kill right then and there. And oftentimes the outside hitter is the one that's expected to find a way to extend the rally and earn that half point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. There's small contributions. You kind of be the cleaner sometimes if you're an outside hitter. The great outside hitters can make make the best of any kind of set that they get, whether it's in system or out of system, and they keep it in play and give themselves another chance. We have talked about it throughout the broadcast so far, as if you don't get the perfect set, chip it in, place it, give yourself your team to cover you, just kind of chip it off the block, and another chance to reestablish an offense and set something that it might result in a better outcome.
Yeah, one of the other things that we haven't really talked about, it's kind of one of those hard to quantify valuable things, is team chemistry. We're seeing it's almost that exact roster from Utah from the side that was at the time the Tennessee Tyrants here on the Untouchables. We see 4 guys returning from Burrell, Cap, Milnazic, and Alou. So there's a lot of built-in chemistry. Those guys play together a lot. And with some new faces on the Tornadoes, they've got some gelling to do still. But, there's no gelling required when you're serving. That is a 1-on-6 kind of game, and Sekiel Sanchez right there just goes after it.
Yeah, you've seen the Tornadoes really emphasize their serving from the inline in this set, too. They've kind of created some great point scorings, obviously clean aces like that. And now the Untouchables are on their heels in their serve receive.
Backside once again. That one's going to be dug by Chapman. Bumps at the outside, and Roshitz has to roll it deep. It's going to send Cap right at the cameraman. Finds it, though, all the same. Tip over the top, kept alive, set to the outside, and that's going to be a double. We almost saw an up-front collision right in front of us. A little courtside action with Cap tracking that down, cameraman unflinching, making sure that we are delivering the highest quality product here at home. Back set. And that one's going to be that hard angle that we've seen Chapman have quite a bit of success, but doesn't quite find the line that time.
Yeah, nice will form block right there. Forcing him to go hard cross court, which just means going against Balanzic, and just goes out of bounds wide.
Burrell sends it deep, hand pass by Hernandez. Roshitz takes a big swing there, dug by Burrell. Falling over, bump set, hammered by Milnazic, dug by the Tornadoes. Dug by the Untouchables. There's the reset, but it hits Milnazic in the back. I love that he sees that's a tight set. It's a tough ball. He gets the reset, but not quite able to handle his own, cover.
The two-handed kind of aggressive set thing, it's going right into the block. The block's well formed. It's going to come back down at a different angle. I'd like to see him kind of try to chisel it, maybe put a little more pace on it to get the deflection to go up in the air.
Yep. Or you just take a nice rip, go one-on-one, get it right through the block there.
Yeah, good comeback by him to get that point. Chisel down the line off the setter's block.
And, sometimes setters, they vary quite a bit in size, but Kanairi, a big guy coming in at 6'5" from Orlando, Florida, an absolute blocking machine thus far. Toss gets away from Cap just a little bit. But Kanairi played, I believe, some club ball over at University of Central Florida, so he's a UCF guy. So once again, you love to see the club guys. There's so many NCAA athletes. A couple of the club players make their way into the league as well. And there's the middle block from Cologne you want to see. But to the surprise of no one, Balanzic lets Cap know, hey, man, get that one up a little bit. If he's blocking me, the set was probably too low.
Yeah, but that block might have been going out of bounds as Milnazic sort of tried to play and cover it up one-handed.
Diving save. Cap with a perfect set. Dug by Alou. And there's the big swing down the line. First time it wasn't open. Chapman getting aggravated. Looks like we're going to see a card issued, potentially. Yep, yellow card issued for the arguments with Chapman there. You can have your opinions, and you can say your opinions, but the ref, if he doesn't want to hear them, you're going to see the yellow card come out. So you should probably just keep them in your head.
If you're not the captain, then there's no reason to say anything.
Yep. Motions are running highs. This match is going to be an important one, but right now Tornadoes are up with a 3-point lead. Now's not the time to
yeah.
Big serve by Milnazic. Roshitz swings, dug by Milnazic. Chapman hammers that one home through the big block there of Schwede and Balanzic.
Maybe Chapman just needed to get himself going by getting a yellow card. Sometimes some guys need that, kind of like tearing the shirt off if you're Macho Man Savage, or Hulk Hogan. It's just sort of the thing you got to do,
Fire yourself up.
Yeah.
Roshitz with an aggressive serve. Handled well, and there's the height that Balanzic wanted. A nice little push one out of the middle. Cap finds his guy. There was a double block, and he's just going over the top every time.
Man. Let the big man eat. That right to left approach kind of floats past a little bit of a push quick set. It's going to be unstoppable almost.
Sends that one deep. Chapman goes for the roll shot. There's a nice reset. Back set, a little questionable there, but no call. And it's going to go to the outside, and Schwede hammers down the line once again. Hernandez digs off the ceiling, and Sanchez unable to dig that. Wow. Schwede's starting to find his rhythm here, and his rhythm is hit line, hit more line. Just finding a ton of kills right now.
His number's been called quite a bit here later in this fourth set or midway through, and he's having some success.
There's the overpass, and Ramos once again, that's the third time this match that Ramos gets the overpass and just knows exactly where he wants to go with it. You know, I remember back in those 16s and 17s when you really start getting to, you start getting that vertical, you get up, you can take some big cracks to the overpass and you have some fun with it. At this level, it's far more rare that when an overpass comes, that there's going to be no block. So many guys identify where the hole in the court is. They look for a two-handed wipe. They kind of throw it down with one quick one. Yeah. Swings can be a little bit of a risky option a lot of the time. And so you're seeing Ramos just more than happy to go up, throw that one-hand quick ball behind the setter there of Kanairi.
Yeah, just being smart, court awareness, seeing where what blocker's in front of you in terms of that overpass, and just placing the ball down. You don't need to bounce the ball to the ceiling, right? Because a blocker might get there and get you, and you just put it down, get the quick point, move on to the next one, and keep going.
Now we're seeing a lot of momentum coming back to the Untouchables. They were down, 3 points, 15-12 if I'm not mistaken, and I think we're sitting at 14-15 right now.
It's 13-12.
Yeah, I'm seeing 13-12 on the in-game, but I was seeing a little bit different score on the broadcast, so maybe we'll identify a discrepancy there real quick, but I'll update you shortly. Either way, Bolonzik is going to be back on the service line, and once again, he's having a nice little run for himself. It's not the hardest serve, but putting some good pressure. And
yeah, he's picking out his target, and he's mixing it up a little bit there.
One-handed swing. Oh, little one-handed punch there by Cap, hits the chest of Bolonzik. There was an adjustment there to put Milnozic in left back, so you see Bolonzik there in middle back. We've got that score corrected now on screen for you. Thank you, production team. Appreciate you as always, and that's going to be 14-12. Tornadoes goes short, targeting Ramos once again. Schwede goes line to no one's surprise, but hits the antenna that time, and now we are back at that 15-12 lead.
Yeah, important service run here by the Tornadoes with Cologne back there serving. You scored 1 point now. Kind of give yourself a nice little 3-point cushion here. See if they can continue it.
There's the one-hand set. Ramos swings high. And that's going to be the hands of Cologne from back row. Tipped over the top. Baloo digs it with his hands on the run. Step close from Cap. And it's kept alive. See if Milnozic can send it back, and he can. We are still live here as the Tornadoes go. And there's a misconnection. Unable to keep it alive, and that is why effort matters on defense. You'll love to see the Chicago Untouchables willing to sell out all the way for that ball, keep it alive, and make the Tornadoes make the mistake.
Great example of selling out for your teammate and then following your teammate. You don't know if you don't go, right? So he went, he got it, they were able to get it over the net, and miscommunication on the Tornado side means point for the Untouchables.
And there's that hard angle swing once again, but that's not going to find the court. And Chapman really struggling right now to find his groove. And that was a tough one because we're seeing a number, I believe that was number in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, that was number 9, Angel Rivera. That was on his first swing there that, wasn't able to find the connection. So as a replacement for Chike Oporum.
Net violation on Cap.
Yep. And that's going to be a technical timeout at 16-14 here called. Wow. Tornadoes, it's a little bit back and forth, but they're really finding a way to answer right now. They've got a 2-point lead, and, they are not out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination, but you've got a lead.
Well, the second half of this fourth set right now is going to be super important for the Tornadoes, right? Obviously, if they can't figure it out, they're going to be 0-4 on the season so far. That's not a place that anyone wants to be, but especially when you have some new personnel going into the first match of this second event. It's just going to emphasize the importance of every play moving forward, right? For the Untouchables, they're having fun. They've got to get a little more production out of Milnozic. I think he kind of goes a little hot and cold, right? But that's due to the Tornadoes blocking has stepped up their kind of focus through this fourth set. So, it's good back and forth right now, a pretty even match. Look for some momentum here right now to go either way. And, this is going to be a great finish to this match. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and when we take a step back, we are talking about the fact that they're 0-3 because it's so important to understand in the season impact. But one of the really important things to realize is that both of these teams, if they didn't have a record right now, the way they're playing puts them right back in the pack with those middle of the 2-1s and 1s and 2s of your Southern Exposure, your Ontario Matadors, your LA Blaze, your Texas Tyrants. Like, I think the way that these two rosters are playing right now, finish the weekend 0-3 again. Leaps and bounds better, and we're going to see them start to take matches elsewhere. So, yes, someone goes 0-4 here, but I would be shocked if these teams finish the weekend 0-3 again.
Yeah, I agree with you, for sure, 100%. There's a lot of parity here. Really high-level volleyball, especially with all the new faces that we're going to see. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. See how it all unfolds.
Chapman cranks that one, and there's an ace. Absolutely finds that one in. That's a huge serve right there. A little bit of a knuckle, not just going top over, but wow, what a serve out of that technical timeout from number 20, Chapman. Seeing if he can replicate it. That one almost hits the ref. That one's on the outside of the line.
Somebody's in such disbelief that he called it out of bounds.
Yep. Ramos not missing any pace there. Goes right back after it.
Smart choice. They'll go back to him.
Yeah. We're seeing Chapman's definitely a guy that plays with a lot of fire. He's got a lot of firepower on the arm, and his energy matches it. So as long as the Tornadoes can keep that as part of the team momentum, it's going to benefit them well. But certainly got to be aware of, make sure it's going the same direction as the rest of the team. Back set here, and there's Schwady going after that line swing. Good step in there by Sekiel Sanchez, but Schwady's really coming on in the second half.
I like that swing by him because they've got the new middle blocker for the Tornadoes, not quite getting closing that seam with Roshitz, and instead of going down the line, which Schwady's been doing, he kind of goes angle seam right to the middle of the court and scores the point.
Triple block on the side of the Untouchables. Burrell steps in to get a dig, but it's going to be an overpass. Burrell finds that dig, though, bump set, and now Schwady dug on the backside by Chapman. Set goes to Chapman. He sets it deep. Burrell gets another dig. Schwady gets another swing, and this one's going to go long. But some great defensive rallies. No touch there.
Unfortunate hitting error there by Schwady, giving Tornadoes their 19th point. Long extended rally, some good ping pong action going back and forth. Guys flying around all over the place, unfortunately.
Some great defense there by Tom Burrell as a middle blocker, getting a couple digs. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Kanairi here. A little bit of communication about middle libero.
Trying to figure out who the next server is here for team in purple.
So that's going to be Angel Rivera. Big swing out of the back, covered. Punched over there by Cap. One of the benefits there, obviously, he got a front row setter, knows exactly where he's at, able to make a quick play.
Good awareness by Cap to be able to put that ball over.
Especially coming in at just 6 foot tall. That's, you don't have, he's severely undersized, relatively speaking, so to be able to find that quick poke makes it work for him. Not quite able to make that serve work for him, but again, we talk about the green light. Ian Cap has it all day long. Even when you're down by 3, he's one of those guys that'll close up that gap, so he's got to go back and hammer those serves. Now we see Kanairi go short, targets Ramos once again. Backside to Milnazik, and Milnazik, while that was a huge straight down block, it was straight down out of bounds, just where Milnazik wants it. This one doesn't hit him in the back, and point for the Untouchables.
Yeah, good aggressive swing by him. They need to see that out of him the rest of this match if they want to win this in 4.
Yep. And Untouchables, that their serving is wavering a bit, and this kind of goes back to that rock paper scissors game I was talking about. A lot of pressure offensively coming out from the Tornadoes right now. Some big swings from Chapman and Roshitz, and that's putting the pressure on the Untouchables since they're down by 2 and 3 points here in this later part of the game. So definitely finding their way back in.
Yep.
Roshit serves that one long. Maybe a little bit of a break here that the Chicago Untouchables are able to take advantage of. See if Bolonzic's able to use all that height and create a little bit of momentum.
Taken by the middle. Sanchez on the left gets dug.
And there's Milnazic, bump set on two to Schwady. And there's that huge adjustment paying off. They know they've got a middle blocker. They don't want him in left back. They shift Milnazic, and that's a dig that no middle's going to find. Milnazic gets under it, scoops it, and Schwady with a heads-up lefty swing puts it down. Great pass by Hernandez into the middle, and that one's going to find the line. Cologne getting involved for one of the first times in recent points.
Yeah, nice to see him be ready to get a point and a kill late in this fourth set when we haven't said his name very much offensively throughout this entire match.
He's been a force to be reckoned with blocking for sure, but love to see him getting some offensive points as well. And Schwady is the pony. Chicago Untouchables believe in number 11, and he is their guy that is truly living up to the name Untouchable. Huge kill going 2-2 right there cross court.
It's an important serve right here. See if he can find the court and put some pressure on the Tornadoes.
Down the line, finds Sanchez, and it's going to be a bailout to Chapman. Chapman blocked, and that's a huge triple block. Ian Cap getting in there. Chicago Untouchables electric in their answer here late in the fourth, tying us up 22-all. You want to talk about a way to kill the energy.
So two real great things there from the Untouchables, right? Service pressure on Sanchez resulted in not the best pass, and then working hard to put up a three-man block on Chapman's right side attack. Pretty sure Cap got all the way across for that three-man block. He was the one that got the block on that one, and you can see them celebrate that success for the hard work that they both did in order to score that point.
Right, and that's the job. That's the job of the middle blocker. You're identifying, hey, where does this guy want to hit? Who do they want to set? Bad pass, you know they're going to go back to Chapman. What has Chapman been doing in most bailout situations? He's swinging into that hard angle.
Yeah.
Cap sees that. Cap knows it. He gets in there, gets that triple block, low and tight, huge block. Great move by the side of the Chicago Untouchables.
22-all, race to 3. Exciting action here, Nick. First thing of the day.
Love to see it. Great start to the tournament. Short serve, targeting Sanchez once again. And there's the back swing, this time dug by Schwady, passed by Alou. And there's the big swing into the triple block of the Tornadoes. Nice pass by Hernandez. Outside and Sanchez into the net. Chicago Untouchables train rolls on.
Wow. Sanchez would want that swing back for sure. He just kind of dropped his arm a little bit, didn't make it over the net. Tried to go cross court. Schwady keeping the pressure on the Tornadoes from the inline here.
Yep. You know Sanchez is going to be the target of this serve, and then you know they're going to go backside to Chapman. Chapman is the answer that Dallas Tornadoes are going to rely on heavily, and they go to the middle instead, but it's going to be dug up. Alou's going to bump set. Schwady's going to be over.
Wait. What? Yes, he was over.
Yes, he was over. Okay. A little bit of an aggressive bump set, and Schwady's, that's almost one of those things you're not taking an approach. You're at a full sprint trying to get to that ball.
Yeah, you definitely can't turn it down when you're going that hard at it. And he was just toes on the line, unfortunately, and point goes to the Tornadoes here. Comes Chapman's jump serve.
And there it is, the pressure forced, and serve goes long. Coach Mitch is fired up on that. And that's the thing.
Point right now.
That's the thing. These Chicago guys, they've got a lot of energy. So when they start finding this momentum, it's a dangerous spot to be in. Tight pass, dumped over the top. Oh, but there's a net to end it. Canary finds, an aggressive move, and that one goes through the net. And Chicago Untouchables pick up their first one. What an effort here. That is an absolute nail-biter.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a little chaos at the end there, but great momentum turn from the Untouchables to, get it done. And congrats to them. Tornadoes with their new look. They've got some good talent there. They've got to, just sort of, keep tweaking on a few things here and there, but they're going to be a force to reckon with throughout the rest of the weekend and the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, and so just a reminder, the way that the games work is everyone's going to play, one match per day. So these guys are done. So we're actually going to go ahead and grab a player of the game here if you want to go grab him.
For sure.
And, wow, that delivered absolutely the way we were hoping. You know, it's a big part of really making sure that we're off to the right foot here with event number 1 and seeing that these guys are dialed in from the beginning. So huge effort from the Chicago Untouchables, well earned, and we really we're seeing that team return to old form. So great efforts from them. We're going to get the player of the match over here shortly. But stay tuned. We've got another match coming up here at 11:30. That's going to be the Utah Stingers facing off against the Las Vegas Ramblers, the two of the three 3-0 teams in the league, and an absolute stellar matchup that you want to stay tuned for. Our schedule is going to be, we're running matches every 2.5 hours. So you can see that there on the left side at 11:30. We're going to have that match, 2 o'clock following up. And, of course, this is Eastern Standard Time. And I am being joined here by the man of the match, the 7-footer, the absolute defensive and offensive anchor for the Chicago Untouchables, Paul Bolonzik. Paul, what a match, man. You really found a lot of offensive opportunities. You found a ton of stops with a team coming off of an 0-3 weekend. How did you get involved? What was the mindset?
You know, it was a great match. We were really intense, especially at the end of it. We started gaining confidence. We started picking it up, setting the middle more. Pins picked it up. Blocking was great. Serving, Cap was doing a great job serving for us, getting him out of system. Just a really good match. Good first win for our team.
I mean, anyone that didn't see how that first event went, you could tell there was just so many moments of greatness, and you guys just, it wasn't quite clicking, and here it is. I mean, you guys were on all cylinders. Your connection with Cap looks like it hadn't missed a beat. What's that like? Have you guys been working together in the gym, or is this kind of just a plug and play and making it work?
Cap is a great setter. This is actually our first time playing together.
Wow.
He's setting me the ball super high. I just feel very confident up there. You know, I've been doing a great job, and he's just setting me really, really well, and it's all clicking.
You know, I love seeing middles involved early. It's so hard for a middle to be heard offensively since you're only up there for 3 rotations, and seeing you guys connecting so fluidly and so naturally, it's impressive, it's electric, and was just an anchor for the offense. It's great to see. I can't wait to see more. You know, Paul, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Guys, that's going to do it for us here. That's a 3-1 win for the Chicago Untouchables. Stay tuned. We'll be back here shortly. Good job, buddy.